Let's talk about swords. First off, there's so many f***ing swords in the One Piece world. It seems like everyone and their mother has a sword. Even if they don't have a sword, they have some sort of weapon, whether it's a gun or a slingshot, or even a fucking dog cannon. Everybody has a weapon, and a huge portion of the weapons in the One Piece world are swords, especially coming off the Wano arc, which had a huge emphasis on swordplay with Zoro, Oden, and the samurai. In my opinion, the coolest weapons in One Piece are and always have been the swords. Ever since Zoro almost cut his arm off at Logtown with the Sandai Kitetsu, I was just like, oh my god, these are badass. Zoro is crazy, and I can't wait to see how the swords come into play later on in the series. It seems to trump all other weapons in the series. The emphasis on blades in One Piece definitely raises some questions, like how are they ranked? And how can you tell which sword is stronger? And what makes a good sword? Luckily, there is a ranking system for swords in One Piece, and in this video, I will be explaining everything you need to know about how the swords are ranked and what the ranks are. First things first, not all swords are even ranked. There are a metric fuck ton of swords in the One Piece world. Most of them are just mass-produced and low-quality pieces of garbage that are given to the most basic marines and grunt pirates out there. These swords aren't really special. I mean, they're still a sword, and I guess they can still cut people, but they aren't really all that amazing. To be a ranked sword is something that's pretty significant, and it's actually kind of hard to get your hands on a ranked sword. That being said, the elite swords in One Piece are actually pretty cool. The ranking system most used in the One Piece world, which carries the most weight, is the Meito ranking system. There are likely other ranking systems for blades in the One Piece world, and some swords that are super strong don't even fall into the Meito ranking system, but this one is just the most commonly used, really the only one talked about in the One Piece world, so that's the one that we're gonna go with. Let's start off with the first rank, which are the Wazumono, or graded swords rank. Zoro's Sandai Kitetsu is in this rank, as well as Tashigi's Shigure. These are well crafted and powerful. They aren't your everyday sword that you would give to just any background character. There aren't a specific number of these, but they are the most common of the Meito ranked blades. Next we have the Ryu Wazumono, also known as the Skillful Grade Swords. There are only 50 of these swords in the One Piece world. Zoro's Yubashiri was a Ryu Wazumono blade. This was the sword that was destroyed by Captain Shu of the Marines, who had the Rust fruit, which allowed him to, rust a sword. This basically made Yubashiri completely useless. Zoro still carried it around with him, but it was completely gone up to the hilt. Also, Mr. Eleven's sword Kashu, which was recovered by Tashigi and Smoker, was a Ryu Wazumono sword. Remember, Tashigi's goal was pretty much to take back all of the ranked blades from bad pirates or people she thought unworthy to wield the blades. Ryu Wazumono swords are a lot more powerful than just regular Wazumono swords, but still aren't as powerful as O Wazumono swords. Next we have the O Wazumono swords, which are also known as the Great Grade swords. There are only 21 of these swords in the One Piece world, which shows just how great and powerful they are, considering how many swords there are in One Piece. Two confirmed O Wazumono swords are two of Zoro's swords actually, the Wado Ichimonji and Shusui. Also, the Nidai Kitetsu is considered a great grade sword, which is one of the 3 Kitetsu blades. Shusui also has another interesting classification, as it is considered a black blade. Black blades are basically swords that are, well, black. They are said to have become that way because they have been imbued with so much armament haki over and over again that their natural color just became black. This brings up a pretty interesting point. It's also stated that using armament haki can strengthen a sword to increase the power of the sword, so it kind of is a cheat code to put a lot more power into your blade and kind of bypasses the whole Meito ranking system to begin with. This is kind of like the gray area with the ranking system of One Piece, and this is kind of also where Oda loses a lot of people, including myself, and I feel like it's better to just be like, okay, yeah, haki is just OP and we could just forget about it for now. Because the Meito ranking system is actually pretty cool, I really like it, but when haki gets brought into it, it's just like, well, why even have the Meito ranking system to begin with? So, anyway, yeah, that's my quick rant. Back to the swords. Up next comes the Saijo Owazumono swords. These are the supreme grade swords, which we know that there are only 12 of these in the One Piece world, which these are the most rare, most powerful swords in the entire series. Mihawk's Yoru is one of these. Also, the Shodai Katetsu is considered a supreme grade sword. Now, this is the last of the 3 Katetsu blades: the Nidai Katetsu, Sandai Katetsu, and the Shodai Katetsu. Now, this is where it gets pretty interesting because it's theorized that the owner of the Shodai Katetsu is actually one of the Gorosei. This leads me to believe that at some point we're going to see either how the Gorosei fight, hopefully, or it's going to be some sort of battle between Zoro and the owner of the Shodai Katetsu, and we're just going to see exactly what kind of power level these Gorosei are. This theory comes about from just his sword looks pretty similar to the other Katetsu blades, as well as whoever owns the Shodai Katetsu, the supreme grade sword of the 3 Katetsu blades, is probably going to be pretty strong, probably is going to face Zoro at some point, and probably is some sort of final boss or close to the end of the series battle. Also, the Shodai Katetsu is considered a cursed blade, which is another classification which all 3 of the Katetsu blades are considered cursed blades, as well as Trafalgar Law's Kokoku. Cursed blades are just basically swords that harm their own users. Like it was shown with the Sandai Katetsu, there was a backstory about it hurting its own users and being incredibly unlucky and possibly killing its own users. It's not really clarified what the curses are, but I think it's just kind of one of those things to make the blade or the sword seem so much more deadly than it might otherwise be. There are some swords that are not given specific Meito classifications, but they're still ranked, like Shiryu's Ryu. Now, given that Shiryu is one of the most powerful and feared swordsmen in the series, it's safe to say that Ryu is probably pretty damn strong. Also, I'm super excited to see just how Zoro versus Shiryu is gonna go, because you know that that's gonna happen. You know that's gonna be a battle at some point. And how OP is it that a swordsman, one of the most powerful swordsmen in the One Piece world, has the clear fruit? An incredibly close combat oriented person in the One Piece world has the most OP close combat devil fruit of all time. I just think that that's going to be an incredible fight. There are also swords that aren't Meito ranked, but it can be pretty much implied that they are incredibly powerful swords. Like Shank's sword Griffin is a world-renowned blade, but it isn't Meito ranked for some reason. At least it's not yet confirmed to be Meito ranked. It probably is, but I wouldn't be surprised if Oda decides to make it Meito ranked at some point, when we learn all about Shanks and his backstory and his fighting ability and just all of that stuff. I wouldn't be surprised if he says, oh yeah, by the way, Griffin has been Meito ranked this whole time. Also, there are other swords that are Meito classified as well that aren't specified what their ranks are, like Shiki's Oto and Kogarashi. These are the swords that he replaced to be his new legs after he had to cut his own legs off to escape from Impel Down, which that, for whatever reason, that is like the craziest shit ever. And I really hope that Oda goes through and does some more stuff with Shiki and his float fruit, and because I think he's just such a cool character. Also, considering he's fucking Golden Lion Shiki, one of the only handful of people to ever escape Impel Down, you could probably say that Oto and Kogarashi are probably pretty fucking strong. I wouldn't be surprised if they were both supreme grade swords, or at least Owa's mono swords. Another person that I want to bring up is Vista of the Flower Blades. He was Whitebeard's 5th division leader, and his swords, Kaken, are known to be one of the most powerful swords, and he's known to be one of the most powerful swordsmen in the One Piece world, but they are not classified. I don't know if Oda is ever going to continue on with this character and kind of go more into his backstory, but it would be interesting to see just kind of what his powers are. Every time he swings his blades, flowers come around, and it's kind of interesting to see people's theories about why there are these flowers that appear every time he swings his blades. He's known to be one of the most powerful swordsmen. He even clashed with Mihawk at Marineford, and it's interesting because they aren't Meito ranked. So it just goes to show you that not all swords are even in the Meito ranking system, or at least not confirmed to be. The Meito ranking system in One Piece is super interesting and cool to me. I think it's a fun and easy way to assess the capabilities of swordsmen in the One Piece world. I'm curious to see more of the Supreme Grade swords as we go on in the story and their owners, but there is one sword that surpasses them all. One sword that is better than all in the entire world, and that, of course, is Funkfried. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, please like and subscribe and comment down below. I really appreciate everybody who watched this. Yeah, just come back for more if you want to talk more One Piece stuff and hear my other takes on anime and manga. Thank you.